Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go and take a look at the EZA for Fusion ZAMASU here. I think that the AGL, transforming ZAMASU, I think that this guy should be pretty good. I think Dokkan probably really did nail things with this guy. This guy, I think, was very, very important towards kind of like the viability of villain teams and Fusion ZAMASU's team in particular. So the fact that we're going to be able to just rock this guy, I think at a very impressive level is going to help us out quite a bit. Now, I mean, we could run a little test. So ZAMASU on his first rotation, he heals 10% HP at the start of turn, and then 20% HP at the end of the turn. So, like, we could even take damage here, and it probably wouldn't even end up being that big of a deal. ZAMASU also is stacking defense basically the entire way until we get to the very end, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at what ZAMASU's doing. So at 200k defense right here, ZAMASU's getting, what, 140% attack and even start a turn. He does give extreme class allies 2 key, which I think is nice. And then, of course, he has 40% damage reduction. So let's just see what ZAMASU does right here. We could get a little bit more links activated next to the Gowasu and ZAMASU, but a little bit more interested in testing out his defensive capabilities against this Hei's Shenron anyway, right? So yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. Now, the first turn, remember that AGL ZAMASU, he's not gonna have like big bad bosses or any of the really craziest stuff or anything like that. But I do think that he should still be a-okay. Like, even if he would get hit with a super attack, I do think that he's healing enough at the end of the turn that it shouldn't really be too devastating. Maybe, like, in the first form Cell fight, that things could be a little bit tricky, but it will probably just be there, right? Like, we really should be okay, I think, with that first phase ZAMASU, really in most of the content that we would actually go in. He should be able to work, at least effective enough, right? So, once we get back to him on the next turn, I guess we'll put the LR Tech ZAMASU in slot 1. And I guess we could just, yeah, we'll do that. That's fine right there. What we're going to do here is on this next turn, ZAMASU is going to be transformed into Fusion ZAMASU. And then at that point, we're actually going to have big bad bosses for him up, right? Because the thing about villain characters, right, this is just, it's such a big thing, is while the villain characters, can be very strong, a lot of times it's like Dokkan makes their links like much stronger than superclass links, maybe to sort of compensate, but you end up running all these villains and they release villains sporadically enough that we typically don't have the links activated that we really want, which kind of ends up being typically an issue, right? All right, so this will be very good for us. So now we have Fusion ZAMASU out. Fusion ZAMASU out is going to be super good. So let's see what his start of turn defense is first off. So Fusion ZAMASU is at basically 300k. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty solid. A lot of times, we're going to be completely good to go to just rock LR Tech Fusion ZAMASU in slot 1, right? Like, he's going to be completely fine. We link up incredibly well. We could get all 7 links activated in the middle slot, but all that's going to get us is Fear and Faith, which is pointless. It's just key in lowering enemy defense. So, essentially, all of our major links are activated next to LR Fusion ZAMASU. All right, so remember that ZAMASU, the AGL Fusion ZAMASU, we now have big bad bosses. He now links up incredibly with the LR Tech ZAMASU, but he also has 50% damage reduction, and he's stacking 7 million attack stat, considering he's supporting, he's got the huge damage reduction, he's stacking. I would say that does look pretty good to me. Now, we have this additional right here. This is an additional super during a turn where he receives an attack. So we got hit, so he gives us an additional super. And then, of course, we could also still get the hidden potential system additional. Every time, Fusion ZAMASU supers right there, he's going to stack attack and defense. So every turn, he's going to give us, a 20% attack and defensive stack. Now, if we're fighting first form Cell, Red Zone first form Cell, we're not going to want to rock him in slot 1. But a lot of these other fights, I mean, we would just be completely fine Yeah, we could do that. Float either character off. It doesn't really matter. So, you know, we would be fine. You know, typically in slot 1. I do think that ZAMASU's damage reduction and stuff like that's going to be good enough. I mean, if we're going up against, like, Omega or something, like in Omega towards the end, you know, probably you don't want Fusion ZAMASU in slot 1, but I mean, I don't know. Actually, maybe you would, because this AGL Fusion ZAMASU, I think he probably would be able to tank a little bit better, even than the whatchamacallit, than the tech one. All right, now let's put him in the middle slot real quick, AGL ZAMASU, and let's go ahead and take a look at what our defense is. What's our defense here? So he's up to 385 with the 50% damage reduction. It just goes to show, like, it is boring, sure. Like, I could see people say it's boring, but it's like, for characters to be super good these days, they typically do have to have some sort of guard or damage reduction or something. You just have to have the capability to be a top-tier character of going up against these major bosses and being able to withstand some of the pressure, right? Like, we see, you know, LR Vegeta and Trunks turn 1 against the Goku Black, you know, Red Zone stage, stuff like that could take damage. We'll keep the Tech Fusion ZAMASU in the middle slot here. And we'll get AGL ZAMASU right here. We'll stay in this form for now. I think next turn we'll probably transform. Remember, we do stack attack and defense every super attack in kind of like this you know, middle Fusion ZAMASU state. So we're just going to continue to stack and stack and stack, build up our stats. I think I probably, a lot of times in runs, I'm not going to be dying to transform into the final phase, because in the final phase, he loses a lot of defense, but he gains a ridiculous amount of attack, and he gets, you know, just a huge amount of attack, right? And a high chance to crit and stuff like that. But I do think that the extra defense is probably a little bit more of a bigger thing. The other thing that he does lose in his last state is he doesn't give ki. Remember that he does give 2 ki to Extreme Class Allies in both of his first 2 transform states. That could be useful, certainly, for villain setups, right? Villains are always going to be able to, I think, really take advantage of ki and stuff like that. All right, so I've already seen what I need to see. This is huge. It really does make you think how strong this team would already be if this int LR ZAMASU was able to link with the tech corrupted ZAMASU. Like, it would change things quite a bit. This LR Fusion ZAMASU is still a very capable option that we'd be able to run in some of these fights. Okay, so we'll put the LR Tech 1 in slot 1, Goku Black and ZAMASU in slot 2 is fine. Yeah, we could go exactly like this. And then on the next turn, what we'll do is we will go ahead and transform with AGL ZAMASU, and then, you know, sort of see how we'll be able to cook there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think that this AGL ZAMASU, I mean, it's, how do I say this? I mean, he definitely feels like physical Piccolo level, just with how safe he will be to bring in all these tough fights. Blue Kaioken Goku, it's like you almost need to, like, sidestep. He's just like a different type of character, right? But like this ZAMASU, I feel like we'll be able to complement teams in the exact same fashion that Piccolo can, which is really good. All right, so we have the animation skip off. Let's go ahead and transform. We could actually do both transformations right here, sure. Okay. So when we transform into this state, we lose 20% damage reduction and 50% defense. What is our defense right here? So we're at... Damn, dude, he stacks so much. Oh my god. He stacks so much that it's like this form doesn't even really feel super unsafe to me. I mean, 563k damage reduction. He's not getting any additional defense from, like, he gets no defense on his pass. No, actually, he does. He gets 50% defense on super for the first 3 turns. Oh, he is so busted. Wow. I think he's actually going to be quite a bit better. Yeah, let's do that. Now, real quick, before we do anything, again, he doesn't get defense from his super attack effect anymore. He's only getting 100% attack from his super attack effect. Now, let's look at his defense again. So we're at 563. Now, let's get as many tech orbs with infinite ZAMASU as we can. So, yep, we'll do that. Now, what is Fusion ZAMASU's defense? Haha. What turn is it? It's turn 7. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I could just hard call him the #1 EZA TUR, dude. Oh my god. I mean, this is... He has a 50% chance to crit, by the way. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to, you know, go super crazy. Oh my god. But, like, I would say that, like, I was going into it saying, like, they cannot fumble him. AGL ZAMASU has to be a hitter. They cannot fumble him. They cannot fumble him. I would say that this AGL ZAMASU, he seems better to me than even what my wildest expectations would have been. Yeah, AGL ZAMASU is the GOAT. I mean, he's either the #1 or 2 EZA TUR, depending upon how we feel about Blue Kaioken Goku. And, like, kind of the different effect that he could have. But ZAMASU is shockingly good.